Hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick update on ES1. This is futures for the stock market, mainly SPY, ticker SPY, ticker SPX. These are the general market leaders. Um, okay, so let's get into it. So, what I am seeing here is one of my favorites to watch for in stocks is a diabolical curve. Um, I'll get you a little. Okay, so this picture here, this is what a parabolic curve, diabolical curve looks like. So if you notice here, you have your base. This is the first move, second base, third base, fourth base, and then this large spike is called a blow off top, right? Okay, so we're going to go back here. Let me show you something. So if you notice here, you have your first spike up, you have your one and your base, right? So one base. Now, the way that you typically can measure these is you just do the initial spike right here, so like the bottom to the top of the consolidation, and then you take that measurement and you take it to the bottom of the consolidation, and that's typically how you can get your next measured move. If you notice where that red line ends, is where the typically you will reconsolidate. So technically, this one here would be your second, right? So you have your two base. Now this one is your three, and that's how you also take this measured move from the bottom to the top. And sometimes it's from the bottom of the consolidation zone. Sometimes it's the bottom of the where the move ends or begins to start, I guess I could say. In this case, it was that one. So if you notice, the red line came exactly to the perfect spot. So this would be another phase, right? You staying with me here? Oh, I'm trying to make this as much possible, or make as much sense as possible. Okay, so for right here we have 1, 2, 3, and here's your 4, right? Now, if you notice here, bottom of the consolidation, almost exactly the measured move, right? Now, with this being your fourth consolidation phase, remember what happens next. In a diabolical curve, you have the last stage, which is the blow off top, as mentioned here. Sorry, you can't see that. You had the large, this is the big, large 4 base, large move up, you sell down really hard. Okay, so if this comes into fruition tomorrow, you should see this large final move up, which would typically, in diabolical curves, the blow off top, typically it's still the same size as all the other base moves, the base structures. Sometimes they can be larger, sometimes they can be smaller, but they're the fastest one. Uh, you will see this final structure start to make a curvature type shape, and by curvature, I'll show you an example. Um, so you're gonna see it's gonna be. I would have to go on the 1 minute to really show you, or 5 minute. Okay, you can already see the formation here. So right here, these last little processes, they make a curve, and they get really sharp. So if you, it's more along the lines of like so. Okay. When you see this move, possibly tomorrow morning, which we've already noticed that ES1 just broke out in after hours, and now it's setting, or hold on, I'm sorry. Your breakout's here. You're setting on top of this breakout. So as long as this 57.23 level has a little choppy movement tomorrow morning at open, or maybe we have PC or um, jobless claims tomorrow in the morning before open, you could see this initial spike up and then come down very hard shortly after. Okay, this is very important for tomorrow. If you see this final stage, just be careful because this may come down dramatically quick. Um, like I said, my initial target was right around 5,800, which would be 580 on SPY roughly. And this, I mean, it may drag out tomorrow. It could finish on Friday. Just remember when you see close to 580, if this is the exact measured move, remember that. And we could see if the low to that would be 57.87, so roughly 578 on SPY. Between 578 and 580 is my expectation. Just like I said, just be careful here because if in how a diabolical curve works, there's only so many stages. And if you come to the macro chart, it's a little bit differently. What you could see is some type of flush down and specifically retest down here where some of these gaps are. Right here, there's a big gap. So you could finish strong. This could be some type of UTAD, which means distribution. What I personally expect is something along the lines of you get this initial push, have a dramatic sell-off, test the third base, kind of trade sideways, and then start to climb again, like so. And then you will finish your final sequence in the market. And this also makes a massive inverse head and shoulders type look. It all depends on the next 2 days if we see this upper mark. That's personally what I am seeing happening to play out. Yeah, it's just you have to see it to believe it, I guess. But we will know within the next day or two. All right, thanks, guys.